In this tier list, I recommend watching every anime which features in this video if you are not lighthearted. It is also for those who think anime isn't dark enough for them. Let's start. Berserk. This is definitely not a lighthearted anime. The engaging, in-depth perspectives that operate in the story are something to obsess about. Good development quality only makes it further enjoyable. Friendship, love, betrayal, and a lot of blood and gore set the pace, all in a very adult and mature tone. This anime's profound nature and depictions of extreme brutality must be a feast for you if you thought that anime was not mature enough for your liking. Hellsing Ultimate. This show is able and willing to use otherwise sacred symbolism and ideas to portray an unforgiving and unmatched vampire story. Hellsing Ultimate has a near-perfect flow of brutal violence, intense action, gore, and yet significant bits of comedy and endlessly entertaining characters. Sometimes the show comes across as over the top, but it's all in the spirit of the atmosphere the anime creates. A must-watch for anyone who likes dark-themed, bloody action shows. Shiki. It is a story that gathers pace and becomes more and more interesting as it goes on. I was surprised to experience that the plot and characters are indeed a lot deeper and more interesting than I would have expected them to be. The story is deep, and the tone set is haunting throughout the story. It gets a lot more graphic as the mysteries unfold. Shiki will not provide answers, but it may make you think a bit deeper about human nature. Shingeki no Kyojin. It is an incredible experience, combining high-flying action that could even make ufotable nervous with a dark and nearly overwhelming sense of fear and desperation, and this anime is more than deserving of the hype that it receives. There's lots of shouting, lots of character development, and lots of heartbreakers. Shingeki no Kyojin is an incredibly gripping, and it is undoubtedly capable of converting non-anime watchers. Death Note. It might be considered by most people as the #1 anime to watch for non-anime watchers to convert them into watching more. Mind you, it is not the best plot you will ever see, by a mile, but it is just a good starting point. There are decent developments and execution is good, not perfect. Movies like Avengers 2 are not the best because of their groundbreaking plot but because of their exceptionally well-built characters and excellent execution. Do not worry, the plot is not bad, but it might be slightly overhyped. It is a firm recommendation of mine to watch it. Hotaru no Haka. It is a movie that is unforgettable. Grave of the Fireflies will have a significant impact on your life since you'll be confronted with the worst side of the war, that of the innocent civilian. But what could possibly add more tragedy to this story? The fact that it's based on a semi-autobiography. After watching this masterpiece, there is no turning back to the thought that anime cannot get dark enough or cannot get to the heart. This movie conveys the most potent messages, more than any other animated or live action I've ever seen. On this topic, I want to go in depth about how people think that animations are not able to grasp human emotions as much as real-life actors do. Let me tell you something. It is a stereotype. And because these stereotypes exist that people tend to believe very quickly because it seems logical, they enjoy the shows lesser than they would have if they had not heard of such stereotypes. It is just not right. Animations can capture emotions perfectly fine. I have watched a lot of TV show and much more anime, and I can say that animations can capture emotions just fine. If the scene is cringing, it is because of the writing, not the animations. The real-life versions would seem just as bad with those type of writings. Find good anime to watch, and it will not disappoint on any aspect whatsoever if you are not biased already. And I think even then, some tragedy anime out there will change your mind if you give them enough attention. Psycho-Pass. This anime's concept alone warrants your attention, at least for one season. Psycho-Pass is a Japanese cyberpunk anime television series from 2012 about a dystopian future society where omnipresent public censors continuously scan the mental states of citizens to determine their threat to society. Its discussions, animation quality, detective work and world building were interesting enough. There are philosophical discussions, and the series is overall fascinating to watch. School Days. This is an anime which might not be the most loved but has a lot of themes and scenes which may completely change your mind of what you think this anime is about. The story is not light, and it is not for small kids. School Days is a sadistic perversion of the high school romance genre. Out is the usual staple of charming characters, tender moments and budding romance replaced by lust, cheating and vengeance. The plot completely changed my view on what School Days meant as I was much more innocent. I started this anime thinking how bad can it get? It gets bad when it spirals down, just wait till it does. Elfen Lied, the anime starts with a dreamlike atmosphere. It is a deep anime, and the themes of innocence and pain, beauty and menace, death and love, blood and hope, all make Elfen Lied an addictive series which will leave a long-lasting impression on you. It is dark yet beautiful, and the anime will surely move you. The Promised Neverland, the story, the backgrounds, the characters, that plot twist at the start. The deepness of this story is touching. Adventure and suspense are in the right measure, and the characters are incredibly charismatic. The show is a psychological thriller. The show gives off a Battle of Minds vibe. The execution of anime is on point. After you complete this anime, it will almost be impossible to believe for any non-anime watcher that its manga is the superior version of this anime. Made in Abyss, the anime has one of the most exciting settings in anime. Made in Abyss contains graphic, violent scenes, occasionally even outright disturbing, but never is there a moment where it feels unnecessary. It is a story of adventure, of survival, and of finding life within death. The anime might seem lighthearted to viewers who do not focus on the dark intricacies of the plot and might underrate the anime. But the subtle yet evident dark theme runs through the anime and is an essential characteristic of the plot. Parasite the Maxim, it is a stunning science fiction anime with a unique story and rock-solid character development. The series examines themes of transformation and change. The social development of the characters progresses very well. The action is mind-blowing. The newly grasped understanding of human nature is compelling. It is a top-notch science fiction with unlimited Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, this anime epitomizes how you should never judge something by its cover. At first glance, it looks like a simple, generic harem series or a lame, cliched romance. However, this anime is nothing short of genius. The whole setting, atmosphere, and mood are incredibly well executed. Beneath the exterior appearance of this seemingly tame series, however, lies a dark story of murder, violence, and mystery. Higurashi is a confusing, complex and challenging to explain anime. Thus, I would recommend giving it a watch and find out on your own. Vinland Saga, it's a compelling tale with well-defined, palpable characters all living in a harsh yet beautifully captured world brought to life by rich colors, stellar landscapes and a varied selection of melodies that help convey a specific tone. This anime is aimed at a mature audience and not at kids who people think are the viewers of this form of media. Devilman Crybaby, this anime is a Netflix original adaptation of the 1970s manga Devilman. Devilman Crybaby can be hard to stomach, and you should proceed at your own risk. The show isn't squeamish about body horror and bare flesh. There are innumerous accounts of shocking violence and adult scenes. The adult scenes are very prevalent throughout the series and might become very disturbing to watch if violence is added into the mixing within those scenes. This show is definitely not age appropriate for kids. I personally did not watch the complete season and took review input from the Vert. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, this is one of the greatest TV shows of all time, not just anime. The characters are incredibly well built, and the world building is the best in business. This causes the anime to go on for a long stretch 64 episodes, but everything is worth it. The anime has almost no weak points, and it is engaging throughout. I will not give out any more. It is simply god tier. This is a must-watch anime for literally anyone. A side note, people who start with anime at first will like to watch the series in English dubbed versions, and it is acceptable. But trust me, once you grow into this form of media, you are bound to switch to subtitles, there is no doubt. There won't even be a need to convince anyone into doing that. Thank you for watching, and I hope I was able to convince some non-anime watchers to consider giving it a try.